What's going on, guys? Matty Daddy Mining here. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I posted a video yesterday saying that overclocks are in the works for the KS0. And I said that T-Swift was in development of some type of software or something along those lines that allows you to overclock your KS0. And 12 hours, 24 hours later, I don't know, whatever it was, the next day, from me posting that video, here we go. There are instructions now to overclock your KS0. And you can thank T-Swift for that. You can also thank Greater Good Mining for that, as he posted this morning the instructions that were left on his Discord by T-Swift. The very first thing that we need to do before upgrading to the latest overclocks, one, you need to have the latest firmware. And I know there were a lot of people that were on the fence about upgrading to the KS0's latest firmware, but that's it right there. If you want to overclock, you need the latest firmware. The next thing that we need to talk about, proper cooling. With overclocking, it is going to put out more heat. You will need to dissipate that heat. So you will definitely, if you don't have, you will need some type of external fan. So if you do not have a USB fan, I do have a link in the description below for a Noctua fan. Check that out. The last thing you will definitely need to have, you will need sufficient power. So the power supply unit that came with the KS0s, if you ordered them from Iceriver, are only 90 watts. So with the overclocks, you'll be pushing to 110, maybe 120, depending on your device. It is advertised at 110, but you don't want to. You'll definitely need a bigger power supply. Those of us that have the 120 watt power supply, that still is not enough. You want to keep at the 80% rule. So, I mean, if it's overclocked to 110 and you have a 120 watt power supply and a 5 watt USB fan, I mean, you're going to be right there. So you will need to upgrade to a larger power supply. There is a 180 watt power supply that I will also leave in the description below. I will leave a link to that. So let's go through this real quick. So, of course, like I said, you have to update to the latest and greatest firmware. Next, you have to install some software called Eclipse. Here's the link right here. You have to start Eclipse. Go to Help, Install New Software, and then in the work field, you need to enter this URL. Click Add, name it whatever you want, click Add again, select the target communication, click Next, agree to the licensing, click Finish, restart Eclipse when prompted. When Eclipse restarts, blah, 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 you guys can read. Okay, so then, after all that's done, you should now be connected to the debug interface of the miner. You can view information, browse, or edit the files on your system. All you have to do then is download the attached file, paste it into the this folder right here, reboot the miner, and you're done. Easy peasy, awesome. The overclock will stay even if you factory reset the miner. If you want to revert the miner back to stock condition, re-upload official Iceriver firmware again and then save. So definitely keep, just in case, definitely keep a copy of the original firmware around, which obviously you will need because you'd have to install it to upgrade it to even do these overclocks. So I will leave the connections below, or the connections, wow. I will leave the instructions below, and then I will also leave a link to this Discord because you will need access to this BGZ file. I will not be overclocking this as of right now, this second. I don't have a sufficient enough power supply. I mean, I have my 120 watt, but as I said before, I don't feel comfortable trying that with a lower rated, or not a lower rated, but a lower wattage, man, I cannot talk today, lower wattage power supply. So I have already ordered my replacement. And as I said previously, a link for the power supply will be down in the description below. So again, thank you, Greater Good Mining. Thank you, T-Swift. And Greater Good Mining or T-Swift, if you guys see this, if T-Swift has some type of donation address, I mean, I think we should all be sending a little bit of CASPA donating a little bit of CASPA towards T-Swift for putting in all the legwork on this. That is fantastic work. It is awesome. T-Swift is the man. Once I get my power supply, I will be doing a video on overclocking this from start to finish. So until then, everybody have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll catch you next time.